Welcome, guys. Aerobics with Lyds. I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm just really excited to be back on camera, you know. My acting days are not over. Hello, I'm Lydia, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this sweater. Woo! I don't know. I don't think I need to say more, you know? Let's just get started.
Hello. I have a bit of a cold, so you're going to get a very sultry sounding voice for this tutorial voiceover. So I have chosen a sweater that is already cropped and loose to go off of. I'm taking note of the fit so that I can make adjustments when I copy it. So to start, fold your jersey fleece with the fleecy side, which is the wrong side, facing out so that you can mark it. Fold your sweater in half with the front facing out and place fold against fold of fabric. Trace neckline. My sweater is a V-neck, so I brought it up about 2 inches and made it a round or scoop neck, as we call it. Trace around the whole sweater with 1/2 inch seam allowance and cut it out. Make sure you mark the center of the neck with a tiny snip or mark and label it as the front. To trace the back piece, take your front and lay it out fold to fold on your fabric. Trace it out, but there's going to be a few changes. So the neckline needs to be a bit higher. I rose my neckline about 2 inches because you want it to be kind of on the resting at the base of your neck. If you're not sure about this, just take a regular crew neck t-shirt and compare it. At the middle of the armhole, add about a 1/2 inch just to compensate for the wideness of your back versus your front. And for the hem, make it curve down to about 1 inch longer at the center back. And then mark the center back of the neck with a tiny slip or a mark with your chalk. To create your hood, start by measuring your front and back neckline circumference. Mine is 27, which is huge, by the way. Divide this by 2 for your half neck measurement for the hood. Fold your fabric vertically, which is along with a grain, and then fold again horizontally as shown. So you're ending up with 4 layers. Take a hood that you have and flatten it. This is going to be half of your whole neck measurement. Trace around your hood and mark at the neckline. Then measure your neckline and make sure it's half of your neck measurement from your sweater body plus 1 inch. The extra 1 inch is to create an overlapping hood. So my measurement was 14 inches because it was 27 divided by 2, which is 13. Plus 1 inch, which is 14. And just mark a little snip, just 1 inch from the edge, so that you know where it's overlapping. Double your fabric with right sides facing and create a line down the center. On one side, place the front sleeve against the line as shown. Make the hem of the sleeve the same width as your upper arm. Half of this length is on the front and half on the back. Then trace around the rest of the sleeve. Flip the sleeve over to trace the back side. Cut and mark which side is the front and which side is the back. And don't forget to label the underlayer as well. The length of your cuff will be the same as your sleeve hem, and the width of it is 3 inches. That's if you're using a 1-inch elastic. With right sides of fabric facing each other, sew your shoulder seams as shown. When that is complete, open up your sweater with the good side facing up and place your sleeve right sides facing. First at the shoulder seam and pin around to the front and to the back. Make sure the front and back of your sleeve matches the front and back of your sweater body. So your front sweater is going to have a deeper neckline than the back. When this is complete, take your cuff, fold it over with the elastic inside and push up to the top and sew the sides. Make sure that you're leaving 1/2 inch on the edge for seam allowance. Your elastic length should be your wrist circumference plus 2 inches. I only added 1 inch and it was a little tight with all the bulk after I sewed it together, so I recommend that you do an added 2 inches beyond your wrist circumference. Next, you will sew the cuff to the right side of the sleeve hem. Here we're going to sew the entire underarm sleeve. Make sure that you do a reinforcing stitch at the beginning and end so that it doesn't unravel when wearing. And now for the hood, the glorious hood. Open up both layers that you cut and face right sides together. You're going to sew around the rounded edges, leaving the entire bottom open. Turn this inside out and match seam to seam inside each other. Those are going to be the whole center of your hood, and here you're going to have a fully lined hood, which is super cozy. I love it. After flipping out the hood and making sure all the seams are lined up and everything is straight and lined up, cut a 1-inch slit 2 inches from the bottom edge and 1/2 inch from the edge of the hood on both sides. This is for the drawstring to come out of. Instead of buying a drawstring, I just cut a 1-inch wide long piece of my fabric and then I folded it over twice and sewed it. To insert the drawstring, I found the center of the drawstring and matched it to the top center of the hood where the seam is, and then did a little back tack there to keep it in place so that it doesn't come out if you accidentally pull it on one side too hard. Next, I pull both sides of the drawstring out of the little slits that we made, and then I'm going to sew a 1-inch casing while pushing the drawstring right to the edge so that you don't sew the drawstring accidentally. Then cut your drawstring to the desired length and fold up 1/2 inch, then another 1/2 inch, and just do a simple little back tack on it to finish it off nicely. To attach the hood, we're going to match center back of the body with center back of the hood, and we're just going to pin it around until we match that 1 inch from the edge notch on the hood to the center notch of the front. This will create an overlap if you do it on both sides. And there you see how it's overlapping. You're going to sew around that. And this is your final sweater.
You made it to the end. I hope that you guys sewed with me and made your own sweater, because I love this sweater and I've already worn it 3 times since I made it, and that's yesterday that I made it. So make one and enjoy it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell me what you think in the comments. And stay tuned for my next video. Bye! Composure. Sewing with slits. It's your favorite thing. Sewing with LYDIA NAOMI. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. When you sew with me, you'll never make a mistake. Sewing with it, I'll never go back. I will never go back.